Assalamu alaikum, Sayyidi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I've also felt when we are attending the association frequently and are near your holy light, all goodness is flowing. But when we retreat or are to ourselves, we are surrounded by evil. Madad.
Alhamdulillah, at least when we realize the madad, it's important. Had we felt it all the time, then there would be no need for the madad. And when we enter into the ocean of the shaykh, then there's a serenity, and Allah has it designed that way. If people felt a serenity around themselves, then they wouldn't have the need for the madad, and that would cause its own sickness. So we said before, the madad is a state of everything, that a continuous state of bringing the madad so that that ocean of serenity comes. When we want to pray, we ask for the madad so that there's clarity in the salah and the serenity comes. When we want to sit for the zikr, we ask for the madad. It's an entire way of life so that I eventually disappear and go away, and that my I-ness is diminished and brought down. And we said that a day is coming exactly like I think the images from the Matrix. Why shaitan is so against madad? Because if, I think the example we gave today, one person just walking down the street and these shaitans want to now disclose themselves, they're going to reveal themselves, these jinns. If that jinn reveals himself to a group of common people, what do? Maybe take out weapons that don't work, maybe scream and yell that don't work, begin to run, that doesn't work. So for them that becomes like a paradise for them. They can do whatever they want and harm whoever they want to people whom can do nothing. Because even the Muslim community will have lost their connection to Prophet. Who are they going to call? You're going to call Allah when you've negated the importance of Prophet and Allah will respond to you? No. That becomes when Allah says that you're going to be punished by the hands of people whom have no mercy. What does that mean? Do anybody understand the concept of no mercy? When they had some people who say,
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments, and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
they were captured by the jinn and they were horrifically tortured. And what they saw in the place that they had been taken were all sorts of tortures upon them, because they feed off of the adrenaline and the glands and the fear, the yelling and the screaming. It produces an energy for them in which these shayateen are feeding from in mass numbers. We said before, if you think in these Western countries there's migration, they say like 800,000 people are migrating, and the common people say, oh look, this crazy government, they're allowing everybody to come to the border. Do you think that's why they have the migration? So that the 10,000 got through, or to eat the other 900,000? They're missing in trucks. As soon as you leave your home and begin to walk, nobody knows who you are, where you came from. As a result of nobody knowing who you are, there are truckloads of people put into trucks and taken away. For what? For them to eat people, to torture people and to do their way with people. And that's why these countries are telling people, come, come. Millions are on the roads thinking they're coming in. What are you talking, the 5,000 got through? What about the 800,000 that went missing? 200,000 to 400,000 children that went missing. Who they went missing to? These creatures are eating them. So do you think it's to their benefit if there are people whom are trained in Madad? Or no, they don't know anything. They scream and yell and run. What is that going to do when they come after people? But now give the reverse, where somebody now trained in Madad and surrendered themselves in understanding the Madad, they achieve like the hadith is describing, hadith al-Quds, that as soon as they enter the Madad, Allah says, I'm the eyes in which you see, the ears in which you hear, the tongue in which you speak, the hands in which you touch and the feet in which you move. That one of those types of people walking and all of a sudden these jinns appear and start to do whatever sort of horrific thing they want to do. Just one of those servants immediately goes into the Madad, and whomever Allah wants sends through them, even the mu'min jinn will come through them and now come out and fight them. And since they expose themselves, we'll kill them. This is their greatest fear, is that if they put themselves into a vulnerable position, they can be harmed. By who? By Muslim warriors, not by ignorant fools that don't know anything. And this is their fear. So of course it's to their benefit to tell people, don't do Madad. You make like a sign, don't do Madad so we can eat you. Right? Because one rijal is like 1,000 men in their capacity. Why? They're hadith al-Qudsi. And we have in our own life experience, we have this. We gave the example many times. A young boy came to tariqah, we call him Muhammad Argentini. And short version of his story, he went to a political office, he was not Muslim, and the political Palestinian group he tried to sign up with and eventually got involved with, and there was a lady and man who were heading that office, and they turned out to be vampires. There's not pious people running those organizations and the crazy things they were doing. And later he came to our community in Los Angeles traveling looking for help. So he told the whole story, but we're going straight into the story, that he got involved, something happened, he went to one of their homes, very bad things started to happen, realized the two people were vampires. Literally satanic jinn creatures that wanted to harm him, and they put something on him like a freeze where he couldn't move, and he didn't know anything about Islam, nor anything about tariqah. He said, at that moment this happened, the two shaykh faces appeared before me. I saw two men with beards and turbans, and as soon as their faces appeared I started to recite fluent Arabic. And as I recited fluent Arabic, my spiritual power grabbed both of them by their necks and started to lift them off the ground, just by the faces being present looking at him. And he said, I was going to finish it. They said, Muhammad Argentini, no permission for that. And immediately he dropped them, he ran out of the country. He was so frightened from what he experienced, and somehow he got himself all the way into Los Angeles. He went to the Wahhabi mosques and they said, we have nothing to do with that, you go to the Sufis. And he came to the Sufi mosque, he came to our center. And Muhammad Argentini came in and said, yeah, I had this experience and I saw these two faces, and as soon as I saw these faces I had these abilities. I said, let me show you a book. So, are these the faces? I said, yeah, these are the faces. It was Mawlana Shaykh Hisham and Shaykh Nazim, Sultan al-Awliya. And immediately he went to Michigan and to meet, and the story was validated. Means the tariqah has many of these understandings. It's just one of thousands of stories. Not stories but realities of people. What Allah wants to open, when Allah wants to open it, nobody can say no. قُلُ مَلِكُ الْمُلْكِ تُؤْتِي الْمُلْكَ مَن تَشَاءُ وَتَنزِعُ الْمُلْكَ مَن تَشَاءُ وَتُعِزُّ مَن تَشَاءُ. Who can limit what Allah wants to open? If they open their mouth and say they can limit it, Allah destroy them and make them to be nothing. Because Allah's kingdom is not something anybody understands except the king's men who work for the king. So they understand what the kingdom has, the power it has, and has not even been opened up onto this earth, that power. So it's a matter of people who practice and are vigilant over their heart and preparing for all these days, preparing for energy, and ignoring all the people whom are going to be eaten, right? They don't know their tandoori chicken yet. Let them complain and complain and complain, and when somebody start putting the sauce on you and about to eat you, you remember my face. Maybe it'll help you at that time. InshaAllah. Nice answer. Just to show these aliens and the people are now tandoori chicken. Then they say, what was that shaykh talking about, these ta'weezes? Where's these ta'weezes? You know how many thousands of ta'weezes have been distributed? This is the honor that they gave us from Prophet's kingdom, that to put out the people for protection, put out their ta'weezes for their homes, for their cars, for their persons. Just put it out, don't question it, you're going to see what happens when the thing starts to fall apart. For now it may not make sense, maybe you think it's something stylish, it's okay, style everything with all these beautiful things, and when the time is necessary and Allah show the believers what they believed in, inshaAllah. And those who took away belief, Allah will also show them with regret. What Allah describes on the Yawm al-Mashar, when the people are biting their things, I can't imagine why I came against these things. And that's exactly what's going to happen. What's the benefit of trying to diminish the love and the authority of Prophet? Why? Why to do that? So this is horrible.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, I've been trying to spread this message on social media but always got stuck somewhere. Is this all due to my inner hypocrite? Please madad and give ijaza.
InshaAllah, just share everywhere, don't worry about who's understanding, not understanding, that's not important. The importance is one, that I share so that Allah mark me as somebody who tried to do something. That's what you're trying to gain. You're not converting people, because we don't want to put our ego into anything. I'm now going to convert millions of people based on this. It's that my life was to show Allah my khidmat, I want to serve. Shaykh made the easiest service, take the articles and send them out. Go get some food and feed some people. Go get the charity and put out the charity links and see if somebody will build a well or give a qurban or give food away. So this is the khidmat in our life of service. How Allah makes it to be beautiful is beyond imagination, because our whole life was trained like that. The shaykh would tell me, go hand out flyers for the zikr. I would hand out flyers and then the zikr would be filled with people. And I was so surprised and amazed. I said, did you get the flyer? And he said, no. He asked the next guy, did you get the flyer I put out? I said, no. Everybody in the zikr had nothing to do with the flyer I sent out. Because Allah wanted to show, you just do something and I will send whom I want to send. But you have to show me that you're going to do something. So our life was you take one step, leave Allah to take 99 steps inshaAllah on how He wants to make it and to multiply it inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, our inner hypocrisy may have different levels, from small to big actions, thoughts in our daily life. Should we tackle the big first in the process of inner fight? Thank you Sayyidi.
You can go after the most dangerous ones first, and we've described that if you start attacking Prophet you are in grave danger. You start saying this hadith is weak, this is this, who are you to know what is weak and strong, and this is not your business. Your business is to keep the love for Prophet, keep the sunnah of Prophet. Anyone try to talk against the hadith and against the sunnah, you don't want anything to do with them, because you're building an immense love. And as a result of that love, then you build that love with the shaykh. So when the shaykh gives a talk, don't come against it, don't let your waswas say, hey, this was wrong, this was wrong. That's again coming against Prophet. So he said, don't be concerned with who's talking to you, but be concerned who's talking through him. So when you attack his words, you're attacking him. So you get the flute out of the guy and start beating and breaking the flute, okay, congratulations, you broke the flute. But who you really insulted was the one who was sending out a message through him. And that's what people have to be worried about. He's nobody, we can insult him all we want, or you can use his first name and talk him and degrade him. But that's like coming and taking and breaking the flute of somebody, but you didn't affect and really understand who was talking through him. And that ihtiram and respect has to be kept. If it's kept, we said before, the shaykh becomes like a portal into their presence, and they become the reality of that hadith, right? They become the ears in which you hear, the eyes in which you see, means that the Prophet is hearing through their ears, is seeing through their eyes, is speaking through their tongue, is holding through their hand and walking through their feet. So they are the walking hadith al-Qudsi of Prophet and their shaykhs and their shaykhs and their shaykhs. That's the inheritance, and that's the why tariqahs are based on manners. It's because be careful who you're in front of, because they're like a live mic connected to very powerful souls, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum as-salam.
Sayyidi, you had spoken of piercing a veil with alcohol and drugs. If we had done this in the past, how do we raise up the veil going forward?
Yeah, that veil of breaking the veil, at that level, once you abstain from these bad things and these bad actions, Allah brings back the veil. There are people whom have pierced it so bad, that's why you see them on the street. Right? The one whom burns the veil either through alcohol and drugs, what happens? They see the creatures. As a result, they can no longer work, they don't sit in their homes because they're screaming and yelling, and they end up homeless on the street. Then they do more drugs and alcohol as a medication for themselves, right? So that they don't hear the voices and they don't see, and it doesn't work. So you drive by homeless areas with your children as an observation. Say, if you do drugs and alcohol, look at what the shaykh is talking, and go slowly and you see each one of them is surrounded by shayateen, and they're talking to them left and right, left and right, left and right, because they open something they shouldn't have opened. And we said before, if you see these creatures, they drive you mad, because they don't leave the person alone knowing that they can see, and they start talking, and horrific events and energy begin to open for the servant. So anyone who reached that stage wouldn't be asking any questions, because they'd be out on the streets. Hard to bring them back and hard to put a ta'weez and veil them, because even the ta'weez will burn, they'll take it off, they won't even go near water to be washed and to be clean. So this is a very dangerous stage. But those who witness things because of their use, then Allah saved them, that this is not what they signed up for. They didn't want to witness those things and they wanted to abstain from these types of visions. So these are very dangerous realities. And then also these people whom seek these visions, They say, oh, we can take this ayahuasca and other chemicals and DMT or whatever these things are called so that we can experience. You're not experiencing anything heavenly, you're going to experience the satanic world. And if these creatures attach themselves to you, that's like a Ouija board, they will not leave you alone. You broke the a'udhu, you willfully invited these creatures into your life, you sought them out, you took these garbage, and as a result you opened a veil with them. They will attach themselves to people at first like anything else. You know the drug dealers, they give their samples for free, right? So that you come and get attracted to their life, into that world. So many people said it was amazing, it was so life-saving. I felt liberated from years of torment. Wait a few more years and find that person, and they probably jumped off a roof or hung themselves, God forbid, because they don't leave humans alone. And the whole plan was to give them a little bit of excitement and then really take them, because they want to occupy the human and they want to use all of the human ability through them. They're looking for something to ride. So they enter into that human and overtake their life and destroy them and bring them down to nothing. So these are the limits in which Allah gave to us to stay away from. And this is the barakah of a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, is to keep always the limit of a'udhu and don't enter into their realm, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Shaykh. How much practices should one do for the madad to open?
Fair enough, every day. You do the madad every day until you're connecting and you make your heart connected, and spend a few minutes every day just connecting your heart until you know that you're feeling a connection with the shaykh. And everything else that he's given, do your charity, do your good deeds, that all of these good characteristics, they allow the servant into the circle. So our life is to get into the circle. If I can get into this circle, then alhamdulillah, I'm now given an opportunity to connect my heart. But that circle, its requirements are good deeds and good character. So people with bad deeds and bad character, yeah, they're not going to feel anything. So they have to give that away, they have to stop those things. They can't harm people, they shouldn't harm people with their tongue, with their actions, and that they be charitable and giving and loving and good character, living a life of khidmat. Allah then open for them, now come into their diwan, come in to sit into their assembly. And when you sit into their assembly with your reality, then as soon as you connect, then they begin to connect back with you and to open up the heart, inshaAllah. But it has all of its criteria. So you have to go through the TSA to get on your flight, right? So I want to fly to New York, but just because you want to fly to New York is just one part of the understanding. You got to get a ticket, then you got to go through the baggage check and the luggage check and security check. Why? Because they want to know if you're capable of being on the plane. So our life is more complicated than that. You have to pass the TSA, you have to pass Allah's observations, and that the angels and to observe the good character of people and the cleanliness of their character, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Shaykh.
Wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah.
Is there anything we can do to help and rescue these kids that are facing horrific difficulties?
Save yourself. That's the greatest thing that you can do, is when somebody decides they want to save themselves so they can really do something. If you can't give what you don't have, right? This expression says, I can't give what I don't have. So if I really want to give, I have to have. So it means I have to perfect myself, clean myself, make my connection with the shaykh, make my connection with Prophet ﷺ, and grant my spiritual strength. When Allah grants that spiritual strength, now I have the ability and Allah inshaAllah sends the resources, and now my khidmat can be real powerful and real true. So that's the whole purpose of, you see, our system. When people say, why is this system so regimented versus other people aren't? And that's why we talked on all of these different subjects. If you get the book The 6 Powers of the Heart, you have to meditate. If you don't meditate, how are you going to have juzba? How are you going to have any type of attraction when you don't make tafakkur? It doesn't just come. So then they have to be a people who they continuously meditate so that this jazab and juzba comes to them. As a result of this magnetic connection with the shaykhs, then the fires and the lights and the energy begin to dress the servant. That's tariqah. So if people are not doing that, really not in tariqah. And if they're not training to do the madad and the connection, again how are they going to be safe from these attacks that are coming? So that's the problem though. When people don't know what attacks are coming, then they're not prescribing the correct medication. So how are people going to protect against shaitans and possessions and every type of horrific thing? Just because they say they have a shaykh and they're in tariqah, what does that mean? They don't know the shaykh, they don't know even themselves. So what's the benefit of that? Tariqah is not like a noun that you just like, I got a polo shirt and I have a tariqah turban, therefore now I'm something special. But tariqah is an action that I came in, I gave my bayat. I didn't take bayat because I'm not going to take anything, I'm going to give everything. I gave my bayat, I gave my life, I gave my way to reach to the hand of Prophet inshaAllah. And then it's a lifelong process inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon, salaamun ala al-mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Muhammadin Mustafa bi sirri Surat al-Fatiha.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.